A love story once thought complete is about to open a new chapter, one filled with old memories, new emotions, and a chance that almost slipped away. As the lights of Beverly Hills glow against the night sky, a familiar spark begins to rise again. The kind that refuses to fade, no matter how many years pass. But even with all she has achieved, there are moments when she pauses, moments when her smile fades just a little too quickly, as if a memory has drifted back without warning. She tries to push it away, because she has built everything from nothing, and she refuses to let the past weaken her. Yet some stories never really close. Some feelings lie quiet, waiting. Across the city, Edward carries a life shaped by deals, deadlines, and long flights that blur into one another. His success is undeniable, yet his days feel heavier now. He reads reports, signs contracts, makes decisions that shift millions, but somehow, the excitement he once felt in winning has faded. The people around him see the same powerful figure, but he knows he has changed. His evenings end with quiet dinners alone, staring at city lights that never seem as bright as they once did. Neither of them knows that their paths are slowly bending toward each other again. They are older now, wiser, carrying both victories and regrets. They have grown in opposite directions, yet something invisible still connects them, something unfinished. And then, as if life has been waiting for the right moment, a new challenge rises in the city, one that threatens the very charity Vivian has poured her heart into. It appears small at first, just a headline, just a whisper in business circles, but behind it is a powerful force, a rival eager to swallow everything in its path. Vivian prepares to fight, unaware that this storm is the thread pulling her back into a story she thought had already reached its final scene. The news spreads faster than Vivian expects, slipping into conversations, emails, and meetings like an unwelcome shadow. At first, she tries to treat it like any other challenge, another problem she can fix with calm thinking and steady hands. But the more she learns, the clearer it becomes that this fight is different. The company threatening her charity isn't just large. It is powerful, connected, and strangely determined to remove her work from the city. She feels a pressure she hasn't felt in years, the kind that reminds her of a world she worked so hard to escape. She spends long hours in her office, surrounded by papers and glowing screens, searching for answers. Even in the bright afternoon light, the room feels colder than usual. Something inside her whispers that this threat didn't appear by accident. Someone wants her out of the way. She steadies her breath, refusing to shrink back. But the weight of the moment settles over her like a quiet storm. Across town, Edward begins noticing the same story in business reports. He reviews small lines about a charity facing pressure, a merger pushing too hard, a name he recognizes instantly, Vivian. It hits him with a heaviness he isn't prepared for. Her world and his have remained separate for years, by choice and by circumstance. Yet the mention of her name shakes something deep inside him, something he thought time had buried. He reads the reports again and again, trying to understand why this matters so much to him after all these years. A part of him wants to step in right away, to fix everything the way he used to with money, influence, and strategy. But he hesitates. He knows their past is tender, and stepping into her life uninvited could reopen wounds neither of them is ready to face. Still, he can't ignore the pull he feels, the instinct to protect her, even from a distance. Vivian, unaware of his thoughts, keeps pushing forward. She meets with lawyers, advisors, anyone who can help her understand the depth of the danger. Each meeting leaves her more uneasy. The rival company grows more aggressive by the day, and the pressure begins to reach the people she cares about. She sees fear in their eyes, uncertainty in their voices. For a moment, she wonders if standing alone is still possible. Night settles over the city like a soft curtain, and with it comes a silence that feels strangely heavy. Vivian stands in her living room, the city lights glowing behind her. As she rereads the latest message from her board, the rival company has made another move, sharp, sudden, and clearly meant to intimidate. She feels a familiar sting in her chest, not fear, but frustration. She has fought her entire life to build something meaningful, and now someone wants to tear it apart as if it were nothing. She closes her eyes for a moment, grounding herself in the steady rhythm of her own breath. Far from her quiet apartment, Edward finds himself pacing inside his office long after his team has gone home. The reports in front of him mention Vivian's charity again. Each update seems colder, harsher, and the thought of her facing this battle alone settles uncomfortably in his mind. He tries to tell himself that she doesn't need him. She has changed. She is stronger now. But the truth he cannot avoid is that he has changed too. Success no longer fills the empty spaces of his life, and the loneliness he once ignored now presses closer, whispering truths he doesn't want to hear. As he stares out of his office window, he remembers small moments, Vivian's laugh echoing through the hotel suite, the way she looked at the world with wonder instead of fear, The way she made him feel more alive than any boardroom victory ever could. These memories rise uninvited, tugging at a part of him he has tried to keep silent. He doesn't know if she wants him back in her life. He doesn't even know if she thinks of him anymore. But he knows one thing. He cannot stay still while her world is being shaken. While Edward wrestles with emotions he hasn't faced in years, Vivian prepares herself for the difficult days ahead. She stays late in her office, sorting documents, building strategies, and reminding herself how far she has come. She has learned to survive storms. She has learned to rebuild after loss. But even as she strengthens her resolve, a small part of her wonders how long she can fight this battle alone. She doesn't say it out loud, but she feels it growing quietly inside her, the weight of carrying everything by herself. Morning arrives with a strange stillness, as if the city itself senses a shift coming. Vivian wakes before her alarm, feeling an uneasiness she can't put into words. She steps onto her balcony, watching Beverly Hills slowly stretch into a new day. But even the soft glow of sunrise can't fully ease the heaviness in her chest. She has just received word that the rival company is making a public announcement, one that could damage her charity's reputation before she even gets a chance to defend it. The thought hits her like a cold wave. She isn't afraid of fighting, but she fears being blindsided, attacked from angles she can't see. She straightens her shoulders, reminding herself that she has survived far worse storms. Across the city, Edward finishes reading the same announcement. He sits motionless for a moment, the newspaper still open in his hands. The strategy behind the attack is clear to him. This isn't just business, it's personal. Someone is deliberately targeting something close to Vivian's heart. And for the first time in years, Edward feels a spark he hasn't felt since the days when he would walk into a boardroom and change the course of an entire company with a single decision. Only this time, it isn't numbers or profits pushing him forward. It's something deeper, a pull he can't ignore. He makes a choice. Vivian, unaware of his decision, rushes into her office, trying to calm her team as worry spreads through the room. She speaks with strength, but inside she feels the floor shifting beneath her. As she sorts through statements and drafts of responses, her phone vibrates with a message. She glances at it without thinking, then freezes. A name she hasn't seen in years appears on the screen. A name that once meant safety, conflict, comfort, and heartbreak all at once. Edward. For a moment, the room around her fades into a blur. She doesn't open the message right away. Her fingers hesitate, unsure of what she wants to feel. Is it relief? Fear? Hope? She isn't sure. All she knows is that this message didn't come by accident. He wouldn't reach out unless something serious pushed him to do it. When she finally opens the message, she reads the simple line he sent. No pressure, no demands, just a quiet truth. You don't have to face this alone. Vivian exhales a breath she didn't realize she was holding. The world around her shifts again, not with fear, but with the sense that something long buried is rising to the surface. The past is no longer behind them. It is stepping into the room, asking to be faced. The hours after Edward's message move slowly. Filled with attention, Vivian tries hard to hide. She keeps working, keeps answering questions, keeps standing tall, but her thoughts keep drifting back to that one line glowing on her screen. She had imagined many things about the future, but hearing from Edward again was not one of them. His words settled into her chest with a strange warmth, a reminder of a time when someone saw her not as a fragile story, but as a person worth fighting for. She doesn't know if she's ready to face him. Yet something inside her knows she can't push this moment away. Meanwhile, Edward steps out of his office with a calmness his team hasn't seen in years. He knows the world around him is watching. Every move he makes carries weight. But this decision isn't about business strategy or public image. It's about stepping towards something unfinished, something that never stopped living quietly in the corners of his mind. As he walks through the building's glass halls, he feels a sense of clarity.